Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and are getting the newest version earlier, you can go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. So, on last Let's Play, we chose who we're gonna tell the lizard guy in the library who we're associated with. I can't remember his name. And we picked Yao. You know, I thought, he doesn't seem to know him too much, and we can just pick that, right? It shouldn't be too bad, right? Well, we'll talk about that at the end of the Let's Play, you know, because it's a bit of a spoiler. Because I spoiled myself just a wee... Well, I spoiled myself. Because, you know, I was like, well, should I play this entire game and maybe be a huge divergent path, or could it be something that changes at the end? And it's also kind of funny, my second choice also has a bit of a, has the same ending. But anyways, in return, he told us how to get us all together, which is to seduce Hendrix, Hyena. And yeah, we snuck into Yao's bed, or not really snuck, we just kind of got invited herself, gave him a handy, ooh, and then told him our plan of seducing Hendrix, which, they didn't like so much, but, you know, what other choice do we have? So now, going to awake. But before we do that, let's reset our face. Have a big old yike, because it's night time. It's 9 o'clock. Oop, I didn't reset my face. Boop. Okay. And start. When I start my trek all the way back to the mountain, then I start my trek all the way back to the mouth of the CSCG. It's so hot today, I'm surprised I'm looking forward to working under the shade, as much as this place makes my skin crawl. I feel that breathing sensation that I know too well now that I'm in the entrance again. But I know where I'm going now, so thankfully I don't waste too much time. The third floor is as busy as ever. It's good to hear the compressor rumbling. I'm thankful because this should mean Beckett is in a good mood. Which turns out to be true, as he's the first man I run into today. Morning, Iris. And welcome back. Thank you, Mr. Moore. Yellow team's in the east again. It's gonna be more of the same for some time. I can't complain about familiarity. That's good, because it applies to more than just the taste down here. You can't help but get to know everyone real well when you're this close and cramped. Yeah, I know the feeling. The men who stay, anyway. I imagine that might be the case. Though, it might be nice to know the men on the other color teams too. Do you switch folks around often? I do from time to time, when one team needs more assistance from another, or when we get a major new task and have to mix things up. But you don't have to worry about getting shuffled around. I'm pretty adaptable, in honesty. Mr. Moore grunts. Well, that's what most people say, but usually, before long, folks find what they're good at and stick to it. I mean, ideally, I'm good at multiple things. He smiles at that. Make sure to work hard, and maybe you will be. Now go on, I won't keep you waiting. I smile and turn around, and feel my mouth curl into a scowl. Well, there goes that plan. He might be a little sour later in the day, if I can successfully get James to reassign me to the other men, and the other men to always be together. I meet a few more men on the yellow team. I'm happy at first to see a few other Pumas, so I gravitate towards them. But it turns out they can't even speak my language. So they ignore me, and look at the hue of my fur with sharper eyes than I'm comfortable with. I see Nate and Ben too, but quickly put as much distance between us as possible. Nate. Maybe, I think Nate might be the Blue Jay. But when I see Felipe, Pau, and Dimitri, naturally I gravitate towards them. Big boy's back. You can't say that if you're all big compared to me. Biggest boy's back. In truth, I'd say Dimitri is the biggest, eh? Smallest Dimit will never stop talking. Felipe clicks his tongue. Because I know you can't get enough of the sound of my voice, Paul. Glad to see you again, Mr. Ayers. You know, that's the second time I've heard that this morning. I don't really look that much like anybody who won't last. Do I really look like that much? Do I really look that much like somebody who won't last? I mean, it is your second day. And kind of like with going to sea, people don't... If you don't last too long, you don't last too long. Well, don't take it personal, kid, but most men don't. Paul's right. Plenty quit on their first day. Not everybody can handle the kind of work that we do. There's a lot of injuries. But there's a lot of people who find this kind of work isn't for them, and they search for contract work above the surface. I wonder what kind of contract work that would be. Nobody expects you to be too confident so soon. Well, I don't like feeling that I'm being treated like some walking corpse instead of a grown man. That a walking corpse? Oh, like that you'll be gone any minute now? No. Try not to take it personally. Many won't make the efforts to know you if you leave before a year, because so many men come and go. In fact, we're lucky to have so many veteran miners on level 3. I'll try not to take offense so quickly next time. It would be best not to. As we take our time to expand the tunnel together, tunnel longer and longer, it turns out that the notion that there were considerably more silver veins hidden here was correct. We exposed enough of the shining to start driving picks into the wall and blasting on several ends and sides of the tunnel. Felipe always holds the pick for Paul, and Dimitri holds his pick for me. I'm surprised he was comfortable enough to do that. But he just guides me on how to stand, with how much force I should swing, and where I should focus my gaze. Between all of us, we set off a successful blast after a successful blast, and it's starting to feel like it's second nature. But I still can't shake how much the explosions leave me rattled. Think he'll fork the tunnel? Probably, considering how much silver is in here. Might not be much of a tunnel left if we keep finding this many veins. True. I wonder how much you could, expand outwards. Even if you just, put a whole bunch of supporters, or what are they called, buttresses? When the others are distracted, the drag rabbit crouches, picks up a big chunk of silver, and then dumps it in his pocket. What are you doing? Just gonna double check this chunk of silver. At home. What I think he means is that he's stealing. I kinda want to steal too, but I probably shouldn't. I could probably mess everything up for the robbery that's going on that's gonna matter. When the others come back with from their water break, we get ready to strike at the rock again, but we're interrupted. We hear Ben sprint down the tunnels before we see him. Howdy, fellas. Is that how you spell fellas? Yeah, I know. He's panting a bit, out of breath. Hello there, Ben. The Wolverine's tone is caustic, but the dog ignores it. Whoa. No need for hostilities. Can't agree. Now look. I'm real sorry about all the screwing up I've been doing as of late. I'm afraid I've been a bit of a jackass. Sure have. enough of that, Paul. We all make dimes out of our boss's dollars, so we have nothing to fight about amongst ourselves. Right, exactly. I always said that I thought we should be helping one another. And the way that we've behaved the last few days, well, that ain't me. Turns out I had worms. So, you're saying that you need something right now? Or that you need something right now? Ben lets out a nervous laugh. That face right there, it's kind of funny looking. Well, it's more like Mr. Moreau needs it. We've been so lucky with all the ores that I'm afraid we're fresh out of dynamite. I'll pay you back fully for any of that we use up front. Paul grumbles, but Dimitri just takes off his pack and tosses it to Ben. Use all that you need, but Moreau is the one who can pay me back. I have 6 sticks left. Ben smiled. I owe you one. And then he was off. You shouldn't have done that. See? Even the new guy knows not to trust that kiss ass. Why do you think that, Ayers? I lower my voice. Just based on something that's happened yesterday. I'm pretty sure he tried to hurt me in front of Mr. Moreau. Really, man? Paul looked down the tunnel to see if anyone was coming. Dimitri just shook his head. I think you might believe that that's what happened, Ayers, but that doesn't make a whole lot of sense based on what I know about Ben Keyes. Dimitri pat me on the shoulder. I think he's a good boy. Oh, he's a good boy. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he's young. You're allowed to be a little bit stupid when you're young. No offense meant. He added that quickly, with a warm laugh. Full offense taken, sir. This ain't the same kind of thing as you think it is at all. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read, but maybe we should do an easy one like Beacon Pines for a hot minute. Even if Ben did want to do you harm, something like that in front of a foreman would have sunk his chance for promotion, and I know he wants anything but that to happen. He tried to make it look like it was all my fault. He wants seniority pretty bad. Seniority over us, you mean? Well, I don't know anything about any of that at all. I just know he acted mean and crazy. We hear Beckett curse in the distance as the compressor rumbles to a halt, but then we continue our conversation. Beckett. Oh, right. Moreau? Using first names and last names is kind of hard. Like, I don't even know most people's last names. Just saying. Which is kind of funny when trying to connect with people on LinkedIn after you lose your job, because, I don't know, maybe it will help. You need to check that bag thoroughly when you get back, if you know what's good for you. We hear jogging again. Ben's back, breathing harder than usual. Compression's out again. Sorry, but we don't need this after all. He shoves the bag into Dimitri's paws and picks up his run again, following the cord on the ground. Cord? All of us are looking at the bag. Aren't you all a little bit paranoid? No, we're not. Dimitri crouches and empties the contents of his bag on the tracks. Everything's accounted for. Nothing sharp to slice my hand on. No venomous beasties. No strange residue. He smiles up at everybody. Just a bunch of very creative friends. I know. Kinda sus, though. Now, can you please make her peace with Ben and get back to work? I don't care if the bag is fine. I don't trust Ben. I can tell that Paul still doesn't either. Felipe seems indifferent, considering it looks like he's stealing something else. I can't believe I'm the one following the law for change. But we can carry on with the work regardless. Felipe and Paul are the next successful blast. Once you haul all the rocks out of the way and load them on the carts, then load them into the cages, it's mine and Dimitri's turn to do the next blast. I'm thankful that he lets me drive the steel, and I'm as careful as possible to perfect my strike routine, swinging when Dimitri tells me to. Beautiful. Would you like to light the next fuse? I wish I had one of those hats with a lamp like Nick does. Just lighting the fuse with a candle flame doesn't look nearly as stylish. Why not? There's a good lad. He hands me a small stick, and I look for a hole. The fuses are slow enough to light them before we put the stick in, and sometimes the angles make it impossible to light it that way. So, I bring it to the tip of the candle. I expect to hear a low, steady hiss, but what I see is a loud, white fizz of a sparkler. I bring it to the rock, feeling confused, but Dimitri slaps down my hand. Run! Did he replace the fuse? Kind of reminds me, again, of the story of the time when I lit a firework and it went way quicker than I thought it would. I feel him push me as hard as he can, and I go flying as I hear a blast. I can see as a part of the ceiling collapses, and people start to scream. The dust settles, and the rocks don't cause a cave-in, thankfully, but I can still hear screaming. It's Dimitri. Me, Paul, and Felipe run up to him and can feel a knot in my stomach, and when I can smell the blood. Paul looks so mad that he's seeing red. I'll kill him. I'll kill that yellow-bellied bastard. What the hell is going on? Beckett, Nate, and Ben were all running towards us. Felipe is on the floor, shoving the piece of boulder off Dimitri's leg, which made him roar out of pain. Keys did this. Did what? You come near me again, and you're dead, you son of a bitch. Somebody's gonna die if we don't splint and bandage him immediately. As far as I could tell, it was only Dimitri's foot that was hurt. But that was a lot of blood. I survived too much to do any dying today, thank you. The brother's voice is still confident, but he sounds as shaky as could be. Felipe takes off his handkerchief and binds the wounds. Carajo. I don't need to be a doctor to tell you that you won't be on this foot for months. Dimitri just laughs, and then closes his eyes, looking close to losing consciousness. We need to get him to town. Don't move him yet. He might have other injuries. I want somebody calm to tell me what happened. The fuse in Dimitri's dynamite burned out in seconds. Went up like a fucking firecracker is what it did. Right after Dimitri handed this piece to this shit to his bag. Wait, right after Dimitri handed this piece of shit to his bag. What are you insinuating? I think it's pretty clear that he thinks you tampered with Dimitri's dynamite. Wow. Now I know you'll have some sort of grudge against me, but that's crazy talk. No, it isn't. Those explosives were fine before you took the bag and left our sight. You fix him with something. Ben gave the Wolverine an incredulous look. Sounds like something you shouldn't say without proof. The proof is in the goddamn leg. Wait a minute. Is there proof in the bag? I saw Ben stare back at us with blank eyes. It's like there's nothing there. No guilt, no anger from receiving a false accusation. Just nothing. Immeasurably dark and deep. Then, this should be pretty easy. He walked up to Paul and took the bag from his hand, retrieving a dynamite stick, then plucking the wick out of it. He held it to the flame and waited. It gave off a slow, steady burn. Paul looked like he didn't know what to say. That one's fine. I mean, granted, he wouldn't have to do it to all the dynamite, he just needed to do it to just one. And then, hey. Beckett tested every single wick. In the back. In the back? Wouldn't that be pack? Let's just print screen. Sorry. None of them lit up like the first one. So, there goes your theory. Fraxon? But I know what I saw. Could he, or, well, anybody just tampered with one? It's certainly possible. Beckett stood up and rubbed his hands together. It's what I'd probably do if I wanted to hurt somebody without them noticing, and I was being careful. More men rushed into the hall. One of them must have been a medic, because he said that the bear was fine to move. Really? Felipe and one of the other pumas lifted the bear up and helped him hop, with one foot out of the hallway. Oh, okay. Well, at least it wasn't that bad, I guess. Unless there's like sepsis or something. They tell us they're going back into town. It takes a whole lot of effort not to want to leave with them, so that nothing happens to Felipe or Dimitri on the way. Sir, you're not supporting what these men are suggesting, are you? Beckett blew air out of his lips and shook his head, looking at no one in particular. Dimitri went 10 years without getting hurt. Dimitri doesn't fuck up. That being said, there's nothing to support that Fraxon is accusing you of either. So, I think his injury is somebody else's fault. He looked at me, then to Paul, then to Ben. Doesn't mean I know who, and I'm no Sherlock fucking Holmes. But I know some people could look into this, and we're gonna do so tonight. Beckett stands and shakes his head again. Until then, everyone, back to your posts. Then he leaves us. So do Ben and Nate, and the other bystanders. I mean, I guess that's grammatically correct. Do does. Oh, let's just put that somewhere. So do. One, boop. And back up. Boop. There we go. And boop. And then I work with Paul in a shared grief and silence. He looks too angry to focus, and all I can think about is how safe it used to feel when Dimitri was around. But if he won't be from now on, that just means I can't ignore what I have to do anymore. I work until the lunch whistle blows. I don't bother to look for Nick or Yao in the mess hall. I go straight to the elevator and out of the mines. So is it like we need to work a maximum of 2 hours or what? A minimum of 2 hours. Suddenly I have no ability to read, but I want to do it. Oh, yeah, I guess we could do that. Hendrick's office building sits above us on the quarry. When I step inside of it, there's a fresh scent that's starting to smell less and less natural and more like chemicals. The secretary looks at me like I brought her a dead bird. I smile, knowing I must look filthy here. It might be best to come back later. I'll wait. She smiled with her mouth, but cringed with the rest of her face. The sounds of voices came through the door. They're yelling. You handle your side of the company your way, and I'll handle mine my way. I just feel like you're making these men your enemies when they could be your most loyal staff. We could win each and every one of these men back if we showed them the CSGC isn't just a business, it's a way of life. We're a family here. No. You're stupid. You're spoiled. And you're going to listen to what I say. Because I'm going to tell you what you do with a bunch of rabid dogs. You starve them until they learn not to do shit at the table. Or they take the hint and they're not welcome. And then they sniff around someone else's dumpster. Okay, sorry, I had a brain fart because I was like, wait, why is the foreman telling him this? But it's like, oh wait, that's not the foreman, that's the co-owner. If they try to bite you, or make the other animals sick, you put a bullet in their fucking heads. Oh, don't be such a dinosaur. The door slams open, and I see Briggs storm out the door, nostrils flaring. It feels like he doesn't even see me as he beelines towards the door and shouts behind him. Your daddy was better. Okay, yeah, it was this guy. Again, it's like, I saw this color and was like, wait, why is the foreman over there? Then he shoves it open with both hands, nearly busting it, and it closes on its own. I'm spoiled, but you can't even bother to use your goddamn door handle without dislodging it from the frame. I hear James' voice from the other room, but it sounds like he isn't bothering to come out. Are you alright in there, sir? Oh, is that Samuel I hear? He opened the door and poked his head out. Come in, my boy. Well, I think with that scene change, and maybe just putting it here so we can see a ram, I think that's a good time to call it. Woof. Hey, didn't have to censor any penises this time round. Oh, yes. And I was leaving the spoilers to the end, so I'll just do my spiel and then do the spoilers. So, if you want to play this game, available for free on itch.io, but if you want to support the people that make this game and get the news version earlier, go to Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. I don't know why my brain's all of a sudden like, hey, you can't read. You can't read. You can't read. Also, comment, guys, like, comment, you like, dislike, tips, 6 otherwise. If you like me and Alexia Crew, then please like, subscribe and check out the videos that have grown. Please remember to ban your animals to help control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, okay, yeah, even though I don't feel tired, my brain is going, hey, no more reading today. Okay, I guess I won't read. Granted, age like 9:50 at night, so what's a wolf gonna do wolf? Oh, but anyways, back to the matter. And, oh, right. Okay, so I spoiled myself a bit, because I was like, I feel like I should maybe look into things, because it's like, well, do I maybe pick the bad ending by accident, and then go through maybe half of the game, get the bad ending, and then pick the good ending, and then, get to the end? And then, like, spend, like, I don't know, 10 more Let's Plays doing this? I don't know. So, well, then I was like, well, I'll do it. But then I was like, well, maybe it could be all the same except for a couple of scenes. Hacking. But, yeah. So, apparently, out of that long list of people that I could have picked, the 2 people supposedly that give you the bad end are Yao, and who I picked, but also you get a second chance to it. And my second chance to pick would be Ben. Because I was like, well, he's somebody that, if something happens, it wouldn't be bad. That also gives you a bad end. Though, hopefully now, I really shouldn't spoil myself. But, yeah, hopefully now that, I'm like, Ben is unstable, and might be like, maybe we won't pick Ben. Maybe we'll just pick one of the other people. Because apparently that's the thing that gives you the bad end. But we will try and explore the bad end at some point, so, Also, at least I picked a good thing, because apparently if you're confident in Yao or something like that, gives you a threesome, but if you're suspicious of Yao, you lose an eye at some point, apparently. So, yeah. Until next time. Oh no, let's play me. The tired yet unreadable Wolf 6 of the Smoke Room. So, thanks and see ya.